Hello everybody, MrFlavorsmith here, and today I have a product review and a cook as always, because I like to cook as I'm doing a product review. And this review is on an induction cooktop, an 1800 watt induction cooktop by Changbert. And this induction cooktop by Changbert is a professional grade. It is a truly awesome cooktop. I've used it a few times already, and I'm really starting to fall in love with this thing. I've been after an induction cooktop for a while, but I've been on the fence on which one to get. I see a bunch on the market. Some are very affordable, some are really expensive. You know, some are like 800 watt, some are 1800 watt. I don't know which one to get. And my thought pattern has always been the more wattage, the more power, the easier it's going to be to actually accomplish the job that you're doing. You probably think, well, hey, you're a barbecue guy. Why would you want an induction cooktop? Well, I tell you what, I have a whole series of cast iron cooking that I'm going to be doing, a playlist on my channels. And in order to do it the proper way, I really need a nice stovetop. And a induction cooktop just made sense to me. I'm in windy area outside of my backyard most of the time, or up in our cabin where it's windy as well. And for me, an induction cooktop just makes sense because I am a backyard cooking enthusiast, and it is often quite windy in the backyard. And I don't want to have to fight with the fire of the flames, open flames, putting up wind guards or anything like that. So for me, this just makes sense. Often when I'm cooking for my family or friends, I'm cooking multiple food items at a time. So I'm not just grilling or smoking something. I might be cooking, like today, a soup to go with that meal. So to have a separate cooktop in my backyard cooking arsenal, it just makes sense. I don't have to fiddle around with propane or worry about any leaks or anything like that. I just plug it into an extension cord and I'm good to go. I feel your standalone cooktop should be easy and maintenance free and worry free. That way you can put your energy and your mind and focus it on other more complicated cooks like live fire cooking, grilling, smoking, whatever other main cooking method you're using. You don't want to have to worry about this, and that's the beauty behind an induction cooktop. My beautiful wife, Mrs. Flavorsmith, has requested bacon cheddar cheese potato soup to go with her teriyaki grilled chicken. I know it's a funny combination, but we're gonna put this induction cooktop to the test with that potato soup from start to finish. So without further ado, let's get to it. First things first, the extension cord comes with this really nice reusable like zip tie piece, so you can roll up your cord nice and securely. We just plug it into our extension cord, power's on, it beeps once to let you know that it's working. All right, let's get some of our skillets that we're gonna be using today. I have I believe it's a 10¼ inch deep dish skillet that we are going to be browning all of our potatoes in, and some of our vegetables and our onions and bell peppers and things like that. That's all gonna go in here. We're gonna cook them up, get the potatoes nice and soft in here. And then when it comes to actually constructing the soup, we are gonna be doing that in our enamel Dutch oven. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn on our cooktop. Aha, look at that. The cooktop does not work without a proper induction pan on there. So it has to have something that is magnetic, some sort of steel core to it or cast iron. You cannot use just an aluminum only pan on here. It will not work. It needs something that is magnetic. Let's put our lodge on. There we go. And it stops doing that error type thing. So we have two different settings here. We can do it by heat mode. It's 200 increments, okay? So this is the heat is gonna be the wattage, all right? So 200 watts 400 watts, 600 watts, 800 watts, 1000 watts, 1200 watts, 1400 watts, 1600 watts, and it maxes out at 1800 watts. Let's see if we can adjust the temperature now and have the temperature. We're gonna put this right now because we're gonna get this kind of hot. We're gonna go for, we'll go 360. That's just gonna take a couple minutes to get to that. While that's heating up, go ahead and put a little oil in our pan, and I am using a high heat oil, so this has a bird point around 450 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm just gonna put a bunch of oil in there. Those potatoes are gonna suck up a lot of that oil. So the viscosity of the oil is very watery. That means it's a nice hot temp, and I can feel that really hot in there. So we're gonna go ahead and put our potatoes O'Brien with onions and peppers in here. These are frozen. Perfect. Put the whole bag in. We're gonna put our top on it for just a minute or so. Let that heat up in there and really kind of melt all that ice. All right, let's give it a stir. Yeah, that really heated up super quick. If you notice that, it got to temperature super hot and was able to sear those potatoes right away and get them melting. Cover it back up for another minute. All right, we're gonna add some freshly cracked Himalayan salt. And some fresh cracked black pepper. Mix it up. Put some more oil in there. Cover back up. I want to say this came to a sear temperature in probably less than a minute, to be honest. So that's pretty good. And we're back. Let's see what this looks like. It's not sizzling. Put some more oil in it. We're gonna take it back up to 360. Seems to be where that sizzle likes to happen. Isn't that 360? We'll go 380. Do another 2 minutes. All right, while we're waiting for that, I figured I'd go over some of the specs on this. Like I said before, the heat power setting on this goes from 200 watts up to 1800 watts. The temperature setting goes from 120 degrees Fahrenheit to 460 degrees Fahrenheit, or 50 degrees Celsius to 240 degrees Celsius. It has a timer setting on here as well that I have not used yet. This gets us up to 10 hours. So let's just say right now, let's try and set a timer. Let's just see what we can do. There we go, and hit maybe that start. Yeah, it's blinking, so that should be 1 minute. In a minute, we'll go ahead and turn these. And if you crank the wattage all the way up to 1800 watts, it's gonna heat up super fast. If you don't need it to get to heat that fast, then bring that wattage down. If you just need it to hold a steady low temp, go with a much lower wattage. Oh, there's our timer, our 1 minute. There we go. Got some sizzle going on there. This is looking good. I think we're done here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this one aside, right here, and see what this does. Now I believe it's just turned itself off because I took this off of there and it now says H. I believe that just means hot, and it is. It's a little warm right there. Without touching that surface, I can feel that heat radiating off of there. But what I was saying earlier is it has an overheating protection, so it will not, if it gets too hot for some odd reason, okay, it'll go ahead and, I believe, shut itself off fully. Now it's time to do the soup, so we'll bring our enamel Dutch oven over here. And the first ingredient, a whole thing of chicken broth, 1 pint of whipping cream, 2nd pint of whipping cream. It's gonna give us that nice thick creamy base. Let's turn the heat on, turn this unit on. It's at 800 watts. Temperature, we're gonna put this up to 360 right now. Let that warm up. Just kind of want to blend together that chicken broth and that whipping cream. We'll put in a couple big handfuls of sharp cheddar cheese. We'll make it 4. Stir that all up. And to be fair, we might end up needing more cheddar cheese. Put the lid back on, we'll give it a few minutes. And just to let you know, this illuminated screen right here, it says 360 degrees. You're probably seeing it in a flickering motion. That's not how we see it in person. What I'm looking at right now, it's a constant 360F. It's just the camera likes to pick up things a little bit funny when it comes to displays like this. That's all it is. It's perfectly fine. The best lighting to actually pick it up is at night, and we're doing this during the daytime. All right, let's check it out. Everything seems to be turning color a little bit. That's what we're after. Let's see what the cheese is doing. We want the cheese to start melting, and we're seeing that right now. We're seeing the cheese starting to melt fully. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want to see happen. Once that cheese really kind of turns into a liquid, at that point we should get a little bit of a boil going on here, and then we will be able to introduce all the other ingredients into it. So what we're gonna do, we'll give it 4 minutes. Put it on our lid back on. Okay, we'll give it 4 minutes. So we're gonna set our timer for 4 minutes. Hit the timer button again, and it starts blinking. That means it's going. All right, our timer just went off. Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. I believe the cheese is gone. I mean, it's a little bit in there, but not much. Maybe we can lower our wattage. We'll go to 600. And right there it says 280. We'll go with that. Let it sit at that. Now, what I would like to do, we're gonna put some more Himalayan salt in here. Fresh cracked black pepper. My wife likes a lot of black pepper. Mix that up. Ooh, and I know my wife. She's gonna want more pepper. Go to 320 for temperature. Put the lid back on. Set the timer for 2 minutes. Come back in 2 minutes. All right, timer, that's what it is. So once the timer goes off, then it shuts down. That's interesting. Okay. All right, so that's what it is. The timer will do a shutdown on it. It's not that it was overheating. It's just once you set the timer, it shuts it off. That's pretty cool. Let's open it up, check it out. Let's mix it up. I think we're gonna have to crank up the heat a little bit and just really watch it so it doesn't burn. Let's check the heat. I'm just using an Instaprobe. It's reading at about 192 right now. Not quite to boiling. We're gonna bump the heat up to 360. That gets it back to that like searing state. And I think what I'm gonna have to do is go ahead and turn this like every 30 seconds or something. The cheese has fully melted. You know, I see like little tidbit in there every once in a while. We'll give it a minute. Let's see where it's at. It's been about a minute. Oh, there we go. Now we're gonna have some heat. There we go. We're at 208. Much thicker. Now we can introduce the other ingredients. We're gonna turn this temperature down. We're gonna go to 220. Wow, look how that thickened up. Let's let that just kind of, that froth go back down. There we go. There we go. The cream and everything in there, it just gets real frothy. There we go. Now we'll introduce all of the potatoes. Mix it up. What I'm really trying to do, because that potatoes, they got really pasty and clumped together. Just want to try and slowly separate all those pieces. All right, we're at 220 degrees. Let's take it up to 300. Put the lid back on. We're gonna let it go for 3 minutes. We've still got 2 minutes, but you know what? I'm gonna take some granulated garlic and I'm gonna put that in there, because you know why? Garlic is just good on everything. Stir that in there. It already smells better. It's amazing. It's amazing what just the right ingredient does. Still got a minute and a half. So we know 360 was probably too high. I don't think 300 is enough. Bump it up to 320 and give it a minute. Stir it up again. What I'd really like to see happen right now is for this to turn into a very slow rolling boil. Nothing aggressive, but then at that point, once that happens, it's gonna start steaming. This will reduce down, this will thicken up. I can see right now, let's get a little bit closer here. You can see right now that it's starting to bubble. So maybe at 320 degrees, that might be the right one. And maybe it needs to be at 300, but I'm kind of thinking 320 right now is going to do what I want it to do. Let's now probe it and measure the temperature to see where we're at. I'm figuring this all out as we go along because I've never done soup on this before. All right. So yeah, I mean, we're not quite 200. We're just sitting there, but not quite 200 yet. It is starting to do that low bubbly stuff, so we almost have a boil going on here. Oh, there we go. Starting to get that low roll. I'm just gonna watch it for a couple minutes. All right, let's check it out. I turn it down to 300 because I don't want this to burn. I'm really afraid. We've got so much stuff in here. This is that type of soup that would easily burn, just because of all the potatoes that are in there and the cream and the cheese and onions and the bell peppers and everything. But I do want this to reduce. Let's just take a taste and see if we need to change anything. Tell you what, it's pretty good, but more salt. I have this new salt I like to use. It's an ancient sea salt that comes from mines in Utah. It's made by a company called Redmond's. It has a really, really amazing flavor to it. And I just think that's gonna be just what this needs. More fresh black cracked pepper. One more final ingredient I like to bring in, but I feel it's best done towards the end of this. So as this reduces down, and that is crumbled up bacon. And I do that because I don't want the boil, if it goes into a boil, I don't want the boil to kill the flavor of the bacon, and that happens sometimes. So that's one of those things you can put right there in the end, that way it's really potent and it tastes really, really good. Now let's do a sample taste again. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, I'm gonna put a lid on it, and we're just gonna keep one side open, and we'll come back in just 3 minutes. All right, and we're back. Check it out. Got some movement going on in there, and I lied to you guys. I'm gonna put a little bit of this crumbled up bacon in there right now, and then we will put a little bit more in later. So I'm not putting it all in. Mix it up. All right, so 300 degrees seems pretty good. Now here's the only issue with it's set at 300 degrees. It's not getting that roll that I want, but I don't want to burn this. Like I said, this is a very delicate soup, so it's not something that you really can just have a lot of freedom with. You don't want to burn anything that's on the inside there, and it will happen. And since we are using an induction, you know, you're getting that direct contact heat to it, so you can do it if you're not careful. So I'm thinking it's just better to play it safe, go at the 300 setting, and just let it rock. All right, let's see what we got going on over here. On the grill, check that out. Boom. Beautiful looking marinated teriyaki chicken. I just threw them on there, so that's the raw side up. Come on down the line and look at our Changbert Induction Stovetop. Look at that yummy looking bacon cheddar cheese potato soup. Oh yeah, boiling away perfect. It's reducing right now. That's our setup. Poolside. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed with this little Changbert. I just used this yesterday on another video for another channel I have, Carnivore Diet Life, and did some hard-boiled eggs with this, and this is crucial for that type of thing because it's the perfect amount of heat, just what you need. You can control it. That's the really beautiful thing about an induction stovetop, is that you have complete control over that heat, where with a gas, you know, the gas, you're losing so much energy all around, where when it makes contact like this, you have complete control. Total precision cooking right here. I'm gonna mix this up. That's that roll we were after. You know, it's not an aggressive boil, it's just a nice, low, consistent roll. And what that does is, obviously you're getting the proper amount of heat in there. It'll reduce it down without going crazy and burning everything too much. It just moves everything around too, because what you want is you want it to start boiling, you want it to start rolling, because then all the solid matter that's in the soup that settles to the bottom is now coming up and moving around. So this is perfect. I do a lot of soups, but I always do it on a gas stove. So to do induction, this is awesome. I am super excited to have this in my cooking arsenal now, especially to where I can just go outside and do it. Or I'm not just stuck to my stovetop. I can be anywhere on my countertop, because we have a huge kitchen. And I'd love to utilize the island area that's humongous. This allows you to do that. And you know what? The price on these things aren't bad at all. Like, it's insane to not have this in your cooking arsenal. And not just one, but I think you need to have 2 of these. So I'm gonna get another one of these. I'm that impressed with this right now. We'll come over here and turn my chicken. Yeah, I tell you what, that 320 temperature setting, that's perfect for this. Do another taste test. Pretty tasty. Pretty tasty. So 320, that gives you a simmer. I really do like that. At least that's the case with this soup. Something of a thinner viscosity or something maybe a little bit thicker might be a different temperature. But 320, you keep it at a constant 320. You're not gonna burn your ingredients on the bottom. It's hot enough to actually go through and reduce. It'll just take a little bit longer to reduce. Obviously, once you have a really nice aggressive rolling boil, you'll really be able to reduce things much quicker. But you do that more with more of a watery soup than something that we're trying to go with for a creamy texture and everything to it, because like I said, it will burn. It's looking good though. I'm gonna say just maybe another 20 more minutes at this. By the time actually we're done with the grill and the chicken on there, this will be done at the same time. So just a few more minutes, probably, maybe 10. Mrs. Flavorsmith told me I need to put Parmesan cheddar cheese in here, grated. So there we go. Now we're gonna mix that in there. Parmesan cheese, it's got a unique aroma and flavor to it. Put a little bit more in there actually. There we go. Mix it in real good. Take a taste. Oh wow, good call on that, Mrs. Flavorsmith. She's at work right now, but when she comes home, I think she's gonna be pretty impressed. I know I am. All right, let's check out the chicken. Woo-hoo-hoo. That looks grillicious. Let's pull them. All right, let's check it out one last time, possibly. Let's see what it's looking like. Just one quick last taste. Wow. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Put our lid back on. Come down to the control panel here, and I'm just gonna hit off. And there it is. It is done. That cooktop is gonna cool off. We were just about an hour in on this one. Wasn't too bad. We could have done it a lot quicker if we weren't into wanting to reduce it so much. Hey, that's soup. Soup takes a long time. An hour's not bad. Well, I tell you what, 1 hour, that's what this cook took when it came to the soup and everything. That's not too bad. Soups, they just take a long time. There's just not a whole lot around that, especially when you want to prevent it from burning. You have that nice, thick, creamy, cheesy, you know, you've got a lot of substance in there and you don't want to burn it. You just have to kind of nurture it, and you got to take its time. And when you want to reduce it, it just takes time to do that. Otherwise you crank the heat up and you might burn it. And on certain stews and certain soups, you can do that. But when it comes to something like this, you got to take your time. And so for 1 hour, we're just over 1 hour, just by a few minutes. But for that time, I feel pretty good with this. Now I haven't dug in and tasted everything. I've just done some flavor tasting to make sure that we had the right salt, pepper content in there, make sure I could taste some of that cheese and taste the garlic and everything like that. You have to do that throughout the process when you do stews or soups or something like that. As a cook, you just go through and you just sample taste. But now it's time to bite in and try it out. Woohoo! All right, here we go. Let's just see if you can kind of see that a little bit. I just went through, drizzled on some fresh cheddar cheese, some bacon crumbles on there, and a little bit of green onion up top. So let's take a combo bite and see what this does. I tell you what, I'm a fan of bacon cheddar cheese potato soup. I could have put more potatoes in there, honestly, just to thicken it up a little bit, but man, this is flavoricious. And that Changbert Induction Cooktop, that did perfect. I mean, it just allowed me to bump up and down with the temperature very easily. I could put a timer on there, it automatically shut off. So let's just say in the event you've got to go to the restroom, you've got to go do something right in the middle of a cook. Just hit a timer for a couple of minutes, let it cook, and then you can walk away and it's automatically gonna shut off. Hold on, let me take another bite of this. Here we go. Look at that. Let's do it. Man, I wasn't on a carnivore diet. I would just starve all this down with some sourdough bread. Way to go, Changbert. That is a great little cooktop. I'm gonna get another one because I think I need to have two. I can cook so much with these things so quick, so efficiently while I'm grilling. I'm gonna do it. This is gonna be amazing. And you're gonna see a lot more of that cooktop. It's gonna be in my whole new playlist / series of cast iron cooking. I'm gonna be doing a lot of recipes with the cast iron on there and the Dutch oven and everything. We're gonna be using that just because it's easy. We're gonna use a lot of different things, but that's gonna be one unit we use a lot. Ooh, I'm breaking my diet bad. So good. Hey everybody, as always, if you got any value out of this at all today, please do me a huge favor. Like this video. Comment, what did you like about it? What would you have done different? Do you have any questions about anything? Stick it in the comments below. That way you can see all my content that pops up. And please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me produce more valuable, flavorful content like this for you in the future. And until next time, live a life of flavor.